Exam is near, isn't it exciting? I know it is not, and it should be actually. Very sorry for the late video. I was kind of busy taking classes and booster course, regular course, and then doubts in and out of the sessions. So let us start right away by saying hello, pilots and future pilots. You're watching Pilot Preparation, and today we'll be starting with do's and don'ts for the day of exam. So, what to do and what not to do on the day of exam, that is something which will be relevant maybe forever until the DGCA exists. Tip number one, do not leave any question unattended for the later on part. While doing the questions, make sure that you tick any of the option, even if you're not getting it. Why? Because maybe later on you may not get the time. Secondly, there is no negative marking in any of the paper. And the third but very important point is there's a waiting period of 15 seconds on every single question. So if you have 100 questions, you have to wait for 15 seconds on every question. So even if you don't know that particular question, you have to wait there for 15 seconds. And that is a lot. Why to waste that 15 seconds? Just tick the answer and then move forward. Tip number two is very important to follow. Now, if you don't know certain number of questions, you will just put any answer to that particular question as I told you, and then you should write those number of questions on the top line of the paper. So if you have got the paper, write on the top line question number 7, question number 31, question number 55, question number 67, and mark them as per the priority. Put a question 3 stars if you know that question but you forgot at that particular moment. Put a question 2 stars if the question was lengthy and you thought to leave it for the time being. Put the question 1 star if you have doubt in 2 of the options. Put the question 0 star if you don't know the question at all. Giving priorities to those questions which are not properly attended will save your time in the later on part, because if you select a wrong question which you have already done and if you already know the answer, then you will be wasting your 15 seconds. Now tip number 3 is also very interesting. If you don't know a question, what to do? So the first thing you can do is try elimination. Eliminate the most uncertain options of all the three. Then you remain with two, and then you can play Akkad Bakkad Bombay Bo in that. And the second thing is, for regulation and technical general, the longest option is usually the correct one. And the third thing is, for technical general, usually the answer is in the question itself. Just imagine if you get a question from dihedral something, then the option will have dihedral in it. One of the option will have dihedral, so you should click on that. And if there's a stall question, then again the answer will also have stall written on it, then you can click on that. Similar to that, if you're getting my point. Tip number 4 is very logical, yet many people don't follow it. That is, read the question very carefully and read all the options very carefully. You can read it twice if you're feeling any confusion. Read it twice, that is completely fine, but don't do it wrong, because you have to pass somehow, right? So please make sure that you read the question properly and the options properly. And even if you're thinking that the option A is correct, make sure that unbiasedly you should check B and C as well. Then only you will be getting the correct option in one go. Tip number 5 is very important. Don't recheck the questions which you think you have done correctly, because once you go there again, just imagine if I have done question number 7 correctly, I know that it is done correctly. If I go there again, then I will use my extra brain, and by extra brain I'll get another answer, and then I'll do it wrong, incorrect. So your first answer is always correct. Don't do it again, otherwise you will lose marks, and people have got 68, 69 because of this. So make sure that you don't do this. Tip number 6 is again very important to follow, but people don't follow it. That if you have exam in the morning, please sleep early. If you sleep late, then you will be feeling drowsy, and maybe you may not even feel drowsy. But the problem is your brain will have some lag. Brain fog will be there, or mental lag will be there, and that will reduce the efficiency of the brain to get the best answer possible. Similarly, if you have exam in afternoon, don't have too much of lunch or breakfast, because it will harm your alertness and make you feel drowsy. Tip number 7, don't waste time in a single question. Make sure that you do all the question, and also don't waste time chatting to site buddies, asking questions, because first of all there's a CCTV already, and also there's invigilator, and also maybe you will get wrong answers. So maybe you should first complete your paper, and then tip number 8, again a very important tip, reach the exam before time. I mean 45 minutes or 1 hour before the exam time, because there could be a lot of traffic in Bangalore, Delhi, and it will delay your attendance there. And if you reach even 1 minute late, then the exam center will be closed, the gates will be closed, and you will not be allowed inside. And it has happened to one of my students that he went to the wrong location, wrong school, and then he changed his location again to the right school because he was already before time. So he had time to again change the location and go there. So always be before time so that you reach there, you see whether your name is written there or not. Tip number 9, if you can get more than one sheet, take more than one sheet. But for navigation, you will always get more than one sheet. So people who have done metrology and regulations, they think that for navigation also they will get only one sheet, but that is wrong. You can get multiple sheets. So make sure that you get more than one sheets if you are having a lot of numericals. But at the same time, write with pencil. Why? Because when you will be saying to the invigilators that please give me one more sheet, he may take some time, and in that time of 2 minutes or 1 minute, you can erase whatever you have written, and then you can write and continue the questions. It is faster also for navigation. Tip number 10, again a very important one, take the blessings of all the elders in your family. It really helps. And also pray to your favorite god for best memory performance in the exam. Tip number 11, which is very logical, keep your Aadhaar card and admit card handy and printed in advance. Don't do it a last minute printout. Tip number 12, my personal favorite, which always works for me, whatever short notes you might have created or whatever book you're carrying with you, make sure that you read from that book or from the short notes which you have created just before exam so that you can memorize in a better way. Tip number 13, take a coffee pouch, cut it and take that powder in your mouth and then drink 2 cups of water. You will feel totally alert and very happy right before the exam. And to increase alertness, you can also do some push-ups or squats if you have time. And if that is not possible, you can always take deep breaths because deep breaths are good fuel for your mind. And last but not the least, remember how you started this journey, why you want to become pilot or the best pilot in the world. And also make sure that you remember that you have studied everything. You pat yourself at the back and have a good confidence in yourself that you will be able to crack this exam in this attempt itself. And tell to yourself that by any chance, if you're not able to make it, you have again 2 months to again cover up and prepare and then do it again. You don't need to wait for one full year. So you should keep yourself light, confident, high confident, and keep yourself boosted so that your brain will not be pressurized and can invest completely in all the questions so that you will get the best marks possible. And I'm very sure you will pass. It is already 2 a.m. in the morning, and that is all I have for now. You can comment down what all I missed. And always remember that I'm with you guys. You can connect to me on WhatsApp and you can join our WhatsApp group, Telegram group, or Instagram or wherever, and YouTube also. Please like, share, and subscribe with all your friends. And see you soon in the next one.